So, good morning to one and all. I am Dr. Sachin Misar, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Janta Mahavidyalaya, Chandrapur. First of all, I welcome to all in this new session of BSc second year, semester third. Before start of the topic, we are going to introduce about the syllabus of the paper 1. Now, your paper 1 is animal diversity and the comparative anatomy of the chordates. Dear students, last year we learned about the invertebrate zoology. Now in this year, in your syllabus, the study of the chordates or the vertebrates is given. Now, when we are going to talk about the invertebrates animal, they start from the phylum Protozoa and up to the last phylum, that is Hemichordata. And after the phylum Hemichordata, we discuss about the chordates animal. But before that, there are certain organisms which placed in phylum, that is Protochordata. So, what is meant by Protochordata? What is meant by Chordata? What is meant by Invertebrata? These questions arise in our mind. So, I will introduce about these terms, and before that, we discuss about the syllabus. So, in your syllabus, the 4 units are given. In unit 1, the first topic is the Urochordata, in which general characteristics, Ascidian tadpole, and the retrogative metamorphosis. They ask about the general characteristics of the Urochordata, then information about the Ascidian tadpole and the retrogative metamorphosis. Now, second topic is Cephalochordata, in which they ask about the general characteristics of Amphioxus, external morphology of that organism, that is external appearance, and the digestive system. Insisting only the digestive system is they ask. Now third topic is the Cyclostomata, in which general characteristics of the cyclostome means about the petromyzon and the myxin they ask, then external morphology of petromyzon and the myxin. Now fourth topic is about the Pisces, means about the fishes. That is, here is also they ask the general characteristics and the classification of the order, then osmoregulation in fishes and the accessory respiratory organs. There are some fishes which bears the accessory respiratory organs. So example of that fishes is given in this last topic of the unit 1. Now in unit 2, they ask about the amphibia and the reptilia. In amphibia, they ask about the general characteristics and classification up to order, parental care and the neoteny. Now in second topic of second unit, they ask about the general characteristics, then classification based on the temporal vacuities, snake venom, poisonous apparatus, biting mechanism, and the identification of the poisonous and the non-poisonous snakes. Now third unit is about the aves and the mammals. The aves are nothing but the birds. That is the general characteristics and classification up to order. Then flight adaptation, particularly in flight adaptation, they ask about the morphological adaptation, anatomical adaptation and the physiological adaptation. In birds, bird migration and its significance. This is very much important topic, that is the bird migration and the significance, and a very interesting topic. Previously in syllabus, they ask about the migration in the fishes. But now this year, here in syllabus, migration in fishes are not seen. Now, next to aves, the mammals are come. Second topic in unit 3 is the mammals. So in this class Mammalia, they ask about the general characteristics, classification up to order, then Protherian mammal and the Metatherian and the Eutherians. Then last unit is the comparative anatomy. Now first topic is the comparative account of derivatives of integument, for example the scales and the horns, that is the protective integument. Now second topic is the comparative account of aortic arches and heart. Third topic is the types of receptor, particularly in this they ask about the external or the general cutaneous receptor and the chemoreceptor. And fourth topic is the comparative account of the urinogenital system, the combined system, urinary system and the genital system, so it is called as the urinogenital system. So this is about the syllabus for the paper 1, that is the animal diversity and comparative anatomy of the chordates, in which the 4 units are given. Now we see how the marks are distributed. Now the distribution of mark for this paper, that is the theory mark is for the 50 marks and the internal assessment is for the 10 marks and 30 marks for the practical. And for the second paper, that is physiology and biochemistry, theory marks for the 50 marks and the internal assessment is for the 10 marks and 30 marks. Means combinedly 30 marks is for the practical. So total marks are the 150 in this subject. Now come to the point. We discuss about as our title of paper is the animal diversity of the chordates. So question arises that what is meant by chordates, what is meant by non-chordates and what is meant by the protochordate. So in this picture we see the different type of animals, that is the butterfly, starfish, then these worms and the beetle. So what are these? These are nothing but the invertebrate animal. What is invertebrate animal? The invertebrate animal, they lacks the vertebral column. Vertebral column is absent. The organism which bears the vertebral column, nerve cord is present, notochord is present, vertebral column and the pharyngeal gill slits are present. These organisms called as the chordates. Now what are the chordates? In this picture we see the picture of the open-bill stork, then fishes, then one of frog, then here is also the mammalian example, that is a dolphin, here the deer, and this one is the reptilian. So in vertebrata phylum Chordata, the different classes are seen. These classes are nothing but the fishes or the pisces, then amphibians, the reptiles, then birds, and last one is the mammals. How the classification of this organism is takes place? Shortly we see the kingdom Animalia, all the animals which covered in this kingdom, that is Animalia, whether these animals are the invertebrate animal or the vertebrate animal. The vertebrate animals, that is chordata, which bears the notochord, nerve cord or the pharyngeal gill slits, while the invertebrate animals they lacks. So on the basis of the grade of organization, these organism is categorized, again invertebrate organism is categorized into 3 types. First is the cellular grade of organization, second is the tissue grade of organization, and third one is the organ grade of organization or the organ system level. Means in this cellular grade of organization, example is the poriferous, all the cycons, then Hyalomema. These are the sponges are the example of the cellular grade of organization. Tissue grade of organization, for example, is the Cnidaria, Hydra. Organ grade of organization, number of organisms which comes under this categories. Now again, as per the body cavity, the hollow space which present inside the body, it is called as the coelom. Now, most of invertebrates are the acoelomate animals, means in that organism, coelom is not present or the hollow space within the body is absent in which the vital organs are placed. For example, acoelomate animal are the platyhelminthes and the nematoda. While in case of Coelomata, invertebrate animal, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinoderma, all invertebrates are the coelomate animal. Now this class Vertebrata is again divided into class phylum Chordata is again divided into 5 classes: class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Eos, and class Mammal. Example of class Pisces is all the type of fishes, that is the cartilaginous fishes and the bony fishes, which comes under the class Pisces. Now in Amphibia, the buffo and the frog is the example of the Amphibia. The organism which dwells in water as well as in land, they are called as the Amphibia. We take the example of the frog or the buffo, which is found in water as well as in land, so they are called as the Amphibia. Class Reptilia, all the serpents, chameleons, or the garden lizard, these are the example of the class Reptilia. Means body is covered with the scales, crawling animals, they are nothing but the reptiles. Then class Eos, the birds are present in this class, that is in the Eos. So Eos, fourth is the class Eos, and last one is the class Mammalia. All the mammals, that is cow, man, bat, these are the example of the class Mammalia. So this is about the general classification of the organism. Now we see the comparison of the chordates and the non-chordates. Now in chordates the notochord is present, while in case of the non-chordates the notochord is absent. Dorsal hollow single nerve cord is present in chordate, while the ventral solid double cord is present in the non-chordate. Pharyngeal gill slits are present in chordates, while in case of non-chordates, the pharyngeal gill slits are absent. Post-anal tail is present, while in case of these non-chordates, it is absent. Now, we see the general characteristics, that is what are chordates. We discuss about the what are chordates, what are invertebrates, what are protochordates. Now characteristics of comparatively, we see the comparative characteristics of the chordate. Now it is important point is the morphology of the chordates. What is meant by morphology? Morphology is nothing but the external appearance of that organism. It is nothing but the morphology. We take the example of the fishes. We explain the morphology of the fishes, then size, shape, length, color, then fins which is present in that, the structure of tail, that is caudal or the fore, lateral fin, then pectoral fin, pelvic fin, the mouth structure of mouth, whether the barbel is present or not, eyes, all the structure externally which we covered, that is nothing but the morphology. The next important point is what is meant by symmetry. In organism, we see the two symmetry are seen, that is the radial symmetry and the bilateral symmetry. We take the example of the frog. If we cut that organism from the center, then two equal parts are formed, then it is called as the bilateral symmetry. Here in vertebrate, we will be observed the example of the frog or the fish. If we centrally cut this organism, or we cut this frog from the center, then two equal parts of the body is formed. That is called as the bilateral symmetry. Bi means two and laterally. So it is called as the bilateral symmetry. Now in case of this organism, if we cut, then two equal parts are not formed. So such a type of symmetry is called as the radial symmetry. So symmetry in this symmetry means the bilateral symmetry as well as the radial symmetry which is seen in the invertebrate as well as the chordate animal. Habit and habitat is again important characteristic where that organism is found, whether it is found in water or whether it is found in land or in tree or which fly in air or which is found in the tunnels, that is a fossorial animal. So this is nothing but the habitat where it is found. If fishes, when we discuss about the habitat of the fishes, it is in aquatic inhabitat. If we discuss about the frog, it is the amphibian inhabitant. That is, it is found in water as well as in land. Then reptile, it is a terrestrial inhabitant. Then birds, they are the aerial inhabitant, and the monkeys are in the arboreal. So this is about the habitat, whether it is found in water or whether it is found in the land. The geographical distribution is also important where that organism found, whether it is found in India. For example, we take the example of the Labiorohita, the fish commonly it is called as the rohu, which is found in our Vidarbha region. Now this rohu is not only found in Vidarbha, it is found all over in India, it is found in China, it is found in Pakistan, it is found in Burma. So that we call, when we write about the geographical distribution, then what we write? The fish is found in China, Pakistan, Burma, India, Maharashtra, Vidarbha, Chandrapur. Particular location of this fish, that is called as the geographical distribution of that organism. If organism is found all over the world, then it is called as the cosmopolitan inhabitant. And system is again important. Respiratory system, digestive system, reproductive system. These are nothing but the system. But what question is that whether that system is complete or incomplete. Complete means all the organ. Suppose we take the example of the digestive system. All the parts which engage in the digestion, it is called as the complete digestive system. In case of the invertebrate, the system is not complete, so they are called as a lower invertebrate. And the organism in which the system is complete, they are called as the higher invertebrate animal. So this is about the system of the organism. Next point is the metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis? Meta means many, morph means the form. The organism which shows the different form in their life cycle, they are called as the metamorphosis. Now detail about the metamorphosis we discuss in the next chapter, but before that the metamorphosis is two types. One is the progressive metamorphosis and another is the retrogressive metamorphosis. Progressive metamorphosis means the attainment of the new organs. Example, we take the example of the frog, in which the metamorphosis is occurred in their life cycle. Direct growth is not seen. As we seen in the mammal, the cat gives the kitten. But in case of the frog, first the larval stage is seen. So that larva is called as the tadpole larva. And later on, it convert into the frog or it change into the adult structure, that is called as the metamorphosis. So if that organism attain the new organs or gain the new organs, it is called as the progressive metamorphosis. If the certain organs get casted or the removed, then it is called as the retrogressive metamorphosis. In tadpole larva, the tail is removed, pharyngeal gill slits are removed. So in place of that, the new organs are attained, the hind limbs, forelimbs are developed. So that is called as the attainment means limbs are developed, that is the progressive metamorphosis. And or some organ get casted, tail is casted, that is the retrogressive metamorphosis. Then details about the classification we see in the next lecture. Thank you.